Hey there, welcome back to the worst episode ever. Yeah, the show where I dig through the finest TV classics and ask who dropped the ball. And why did IMDb notice? Today, I'm heading to the 4077th with a scalpel in one hand and a sarcastic quip in the other. Because we're talking about MASH. Yes, that MASH. The war comedy that somehow made surgery and trauma hilarious. I can explain. Paul here. I'm an actor, former radio host. And I'll try my Alan Alda impression at the end. It's not that great. Oh, and by the way, Frank won the poll about the most annoying tent mate in MASH. All right, now my usual disclaimer. I may not personally think this is the worst episode of the series, but according to IMDb voters, aka the fans, this one scraped the bottom of the dog tags. I know somebody will get mad at me, and I'm just the innocent reporter here. All right, the episode Hawkeye, Season 4, Episode 18, holds the dubious honor of being in the bottom 3 of the entire show's rankings. Of course, you know MASH, right? Yeah, it wasn't just a TV show, it was a cultural juggernaut. Ran for 11 seasons, had one of the most watched finales in television history, Goodbye and Goodnight or whatever, and it somehow convinced America that war could be funny. But it was also deeply human and, yes, times political. Which is what makes today's episode all so odd. As I said, the episode was called Hawkeye, which makes it really tough to search for because you search Hawkeye, you keep coming up with Alan Alda. But anyway, in the episode, Hawkeye Pierce, everyone's favorite wisecracking surgeon, gets a minor concussion after his Jeep crashes, tips on its side while he's visiting another medical unit. He winds up at a remote Korean farmhouse, injured, babbling, and in full-on monologue mode. They can't understand him, yet he tries to entertain himself and them with stories, songs, jokes, childhood memories, physiological musings, and at one point an impression of a liver and talk about thumbs. There's no B-plot, no radar, no clinger, no hot lips, no trapper, BJ, it's just Hawkeye in a room talking for 25 straight minutes. Can you imagine someone just sitting there talking on and on? Anyway, eventually he falls asleep. And then he leaves in the morning. The end. Now, before I start diagnosing exactly what went wrong here, hit that notification bell and, like Hawkeye hitting the gin bottle. Go ahead and like the video if you're enjoying this trip through television trauma. I've got more. And hey, please subscribe. Now, why do fans hate the episode? Well, let's speculate widely, shall we? First off, where's the gang? Fans tune into MASH for the ensemble, the banter, the chemistry, the running jokes. No teamwork, no Radar's teddy bear, not even one of Colonel Potter's horse metaphors. Another reason? Monologue overload. Yeah, Alan Alda's great and all, but even Shakespeare would have been like, maybe this is a bit much. It's not that the writing was bad, it's just that for a comedy, it was surprisingly not funny. I feel like someone put this episode together thinking, boy, we're going to win a bunch of Emmys. I'm going to win. It didn't. It was MASH's performance art. Let's be honest. Fans of MASH want dark comedy, not a solo show that feels like it should have come with an off-Broadway playbill. MASH did a lot of experimental episodes, yeah, and some were good. But sometimes experiments blow up in your face, especially when they're set in a war zone. Yeah, Hawkeye, the episode where MASH decided to become a one-man show. Brave, sure, but sometimes even brave decisions land you at the bottom of the IMDb pile. If you like this dive into TV's awkward moments, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss the next entry of the worst episode ever. And remember, just because it's the worst, it doesn't mean it's not fascinating. All right, and check out my video on the worst happy days ever. Oh, that's a treat. Yeah. Oh, my Alan Alda impression. I'm Alan Alda. I mean, this is just great. I'm Alan Alda. Sounds more like Casey Kasem, I know.